Evening tubers, KingGrimlock back for another Grimgram, and first off, as ever, a little bit of housekeeping. I'm going to continue on with my viewers review... Viewers request subscribers... Anyway, the big upshot of that is all of these are recorded in one session, therefore if you ever do recently subscribed, your name will not be at the back. Post AA when I record a second or third or fifth video back then, when all these have gone up, your name will go up. Thank you for your patience and time. And on with that, what we have today is we have the second part of the Korean Dude's requests, animated Snarl. Now, I really like this guy. I think he's absolutely lovely, and he was pretty much the first animated toy I bought. Of course, it's Slag. It's Slag. It's not Snarl, but you can't say Slag in the UK, because Slag in the UK means a woman of questionable... a man of questionable sexual morals. I think it's probably a tart, a hooker. No, not a hooker. Hooker's wrong. Someone who's easy. Trollop, strumpet, various other names that aren't very nice. Yeah. But what we have Snarl, renamed, of course, who is a Triceratops, Tricerodon, Triceratopy, Mikey, please, educate me. And he's really nice. He is very small. He is, quite a small deluxe. He's very stocky. He's very solid. There's quite a lot of bulk to him, but not much, girth. That's bad. Size. That's not much better. But what you do get is you get a really nicely put together. Tuck that away so you can't see it yet. What you get is a really nice put together robot alt mode. Which is fairly convincing, actually. Everything's hidden away quite nicely. You can't really see what's going on. Obviously, there's signs of things there, and that is the top of his head sticking out his back. It's kind of embarrassing, really. It would be nice if that tucked away completely, but it doesn't. He does have a moving mouth, moving horns. Front and back legs are articulated to a degree, in two places as well. On both of them. He does have a gimmick in this mode. If you... best angle, there we go. There we go. If you press those together, sometimes little flames will pop up from his sides. Oh, how cute's that? They don't really do anything, and they don't look that good, and I never have them out on display. But it's a nice little gimmick. It's something added to a deluxe as well, which is quite nice. Would have been nice if he'd had a button on the back of his head that you pressed it and flame came out of his mouth. Possibly, or a way to, I don't know, attach the bloody great flame thing that he comes with, so he actually looks like a fire breather. Chewing my what's it of doom. It's a knick-knack, it's a knick-knack. Can't tell I've been doing these too long, can you? It's only the fourth. But there we go. There is Snarl in his robot mode. Really well painted. Nice little paint apps. Everything's detailed. Some lovely cybernetics around the head. It's a shame that the paint has actually been put on quite thickly, because if you look at the back, red plastic, it does actually look translucent. So it does give him a glow when you look at him from the... Yeah. Can we get it? Not very well. It's the same translucent red plastic as the nose and the... So when you get it backlit, it does actually glow a little bit. But because of the thickness of this paint, it's a little bit too much. You can't really make out any of the details. It's a shame. Nice Autobot symbol. Eyes well picked out. He is just a nice, decent bot. And this made me buy the entire animated line, effectively. This in Grimlock, so he can't be that bad at all. But shall we have a little look at his robot mode? So we have Slag, Snarl, Snarly Slag, Slaggy Slag, Slag, Snarl in his robot mode, which is really nice, really nice. Unfortunately, it has a bloody great Triceratops head sticking off the front of it. I'm sure I've transformed this wrong, but I've never been able to get it any further in. It looks like that nose piece should go in there, like so, but then you're left with these panels and it all sort of sticks out there, and leaves bloody great gaps all the way through him. So, I don't know. I really don't know, and there is a way you can sort of force it back in, which all tightens it up a bit, but then you lose the joint at the waist. It's really weird. It would have been nice if the instructions were a little clearer, maybe, but you know what, you never get that, do you? Overall, a hugely perfect looking robot, except for this bloody great Triceratops, and you will have... There we go. You will have issues with though, they will keep popping out. So that is a problem, and he can't really see over it. He looks better from this view, but if you look at him sort of face on, yeah, he not really going to be able to see too much. He's very diminutive, but what you get a very bulky, solid robot. And when you consider the way he transforms as well, the fact that everything sort of pulls apart and folds up, rather than being a shell former, everything sort of just expands. It's quite nice. He does actually give you quite a range of articulation. He is limited by his robot limbs. He doesn't have any swivels, really, but he does have a decent range of movement. He's not massively poseable because, again, he is limited. He's by it. He doesn't have a waist joint by the way it transforms, and sort of almost by accident you do have these sort of loose hips. That sounds bad if you call him Slag, which join at the back, but it doesn't have a clip in it as such. You have these tiny little bits there, but they don't really do anything. So you're constantly trying to fight against that. It's not the greatest robot mode, I'll be honest. Especially even out of the Dinobots, it's probably the weakest. Out of animated, it's one of the weakest because of these problems. Because it doesn't hold together that well. He looks really nice, pretty much kibbleless, even though the back could have done with a bit more filling in, maybe a little bit more detailing, lose some of the damn screws. I like him though. I keep him in his alt mode. I always have done. I love these tiny little hands. I love the fact that they're sort of embedded back into these big, thick wrists, in the same way that the Generation 1s were, that they just popped out and they were tiny little stubby hands. I do like that. He just looks like a brawler. He looks like a bruiser. He looks like he hasn't got 2 IQ points to rub together. His big, knick-knack of doom. It could have done with being detailed, painted maybe. As I always say about animated, what would Takara do? Let's have a look. But in all, he isn't a bad toy. His alt mode is fantastic, his robot mode is poor, though it isn't terrible. It has good detailing, lovely paint apps, it's wonderfully sculpted, it's well thought out. It's just unfortunate that certain things, well, mainly that section, and the lack of articulate, it's not a good robot. It looks nice, but it doesn't do much, and that's always a sad thing. Overall, could I recommend getting it? Yeah, I'd always recommend picking up a Slag.